Good evening, y'all. How y'all doing today? Wow, that's just my tail. Nope, there we go. King Pine Martin, welcome.
Not.
Well, Ahty, not with that attitude, you won't. You'll get there. Everyone will get there. I'll end up doing it eventually. I'll spend it before I accumulate that much. Well, you might not even need to spend it. You might be witness to me playing Secret of the Magic Crystals for a while.
What the Ahty doing?
What the Ahty doing? Oh crap, I need to go on main and do pets. So this is where I'm at in the Final Fantasy queue, so we're going to be doing ODST for a little bit before I go. How goes today, Ahty? It was pretty chill today. I will admit that like a bonehead, I forgot to get into the queue earlier than this. And basically the reason being is I popped into Mako Kanova's stream for originally just to lurk. But she was talking about having the talk with her parents. Like the talk. The capital T, capital H, capital E talk with the parents. And like, if you remember from about, I think like 3 weeks or a month ago, I think I had said on stream that I had just about broken down in my car because I felt like I couldn't talk to my parents about this stuff. And I still feel like I can't, you know, and it really struck a chord with me, so I had to like, I don't know, I had to talk about it. Like, so, like, basically I was just furiously typing on this garbage keyboard, you know, just talking about how I was feeling about that stuff, and really, I mean, there was tons of people that I recognized there, not just Mako, but Tyvir, the collie, was in there, and I didn't realize that a lot of folks are pretty much at the same point that I'm at right now, you know, and I mean, it's tough to hear. I mean, and it's tough to see that people are struggling in my same spot, but also it emboldened me too. So like I'm kind of feeling that like I need to do that. I mean, like Mako did it, so I gotta do it. Oh my God, Andy! Holy crap! Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the sub. 4 months. I mean, no words. That means a heck of a lot. It really does. And I'm just kind of having a little bit of a serious moment right now. But like it was great timing. It was great timing. So yeah, I mean, it's like it's something that has been on my mind for, well, pretty much the entirety of this whole journey. It's like, you know, like the ultimate goal is to, you know, just really, at least for right now, is just to tell my parents. Just to have like a heart-to-heart with them about it. And be like, this is where I'm at. This is, you know, how I feel. This is who I am. You know? And also at the same time, there was like a little Twitter conversation with Diffuse the Moose about looking at numbers and like what they mean and like, you know, whether raids are expected or not. And it was like that whole conversation. You know, so like, even just in the last 30 minutes, it's just been like, you know, been pretty chill day to, oh my God, everything is at 11 now. So, I mean, just like a little bit of how I feel about that is that raids should never be expected, you know, and that I'm just glad that people, like, choose to raid me on some nights, you know, and there are some nights that, you know, raids don't happen at all. Sometimes there's like 3, you know, and just the fact that people consider raiding me in the first place is a blessing. It's great when they happen. When they don't, you know, it's not expected. You know, and all these numbers, they don't matter. You know, if you look too far into the numbers, they just make you feel bad. So I do this for fun, you know. I created a community that we can all hang out in and have a good time and talk about real shit. We can talk about funny shit. We can just have a good time just spamming sounds all over the place. And like, you know, I get to play some video games. You know, I'm good. That's what I wanted. You know, and whatever growth that comes from that is all just it's just a bonus, but it's not expected. I just want to hang out with my friends and have a good time. That's true. But I think everybody who hangs out here is funny in their own right too. What? Okay. I get it. All right. Thank you, Tuz. And let's try out the new thing that I added today. Ooh, that's fancy.
Ha! I haven't done that since GT Sport. Aha! That's something I haven't done in a really long time. A nice clean overtake at turn 1.
It sounds good too.
Now let me not get too cocky.
Awesome. That's cool. I might have to limit the time, the amount of time that the clip is up, because right now it's unlimited. So if you have like a 3-minute clip, that might not be good. But yeah, I thought it was like it's a good way to promote folks that are, you know, they come in on raids and stuff like that, and then also, you know, the occasional shout out that happens for folks that don't even raid, that are just around. I've learned to just have fun. Honestly, it's helped put me in a good place. I've come to just love when people come and talk. Yeah, there you go. And people do come. Yes, they do. Just taking it one stream at a time. Yeah, and that's exactly how. Yeah, Fingies. It's a Twitch guru thing that Rumpleytick shared with me a while back that I finally got around to implementing. And it basically just pulls a random clip from your public library and plays it on whoever you're shouting out. So for instance, Andy is a good example. See, let me do this. Andy Dershawn.
I actually like the music in this as well. Freestyle Paradise. Yes, this is the perfect place to have.
It just does a random clip. Ah, King Venom, thank you so much for the follow. Oh, Andy, I bet there's a story behind that clip. I bet there is a story. Yeah, Mr. Fox, that's a really good way to look at it. That is a really good way to look at it. But like streaming, turns out I was talking while the stream's encoding was overloaded. Oh, interesting. Okay. And then somebody just happened to clip it. Oh, yeah, okay, I get it. But not everyone has a clip like that, and that's actually pretty awesome. It was an interesting effect. What? Lelia Goob, thank you so much for the raid. Holy crap! Hello, welcome.
No, go away.
Oh, this clip?
That's not what I expected to happen.
Hopefully I, oh wow, thank you so much for the resub, Skippy. Thank you so much. How was your stream tonight, Lelia? And hopefully I'm saying your name right.
What Ahty doing?
Oh, Yoshi, that is, Yoshi is, that notification is from, I believe, Portal 2. Sonoda, welcome. Holy heck, everyone's here tonight. Wow, everybody's watching me go through the Final Fantasy queue. Okay, so let me fire up ODST so nobody's bored to death. I was just doing a little bit of a just chatting thing before I started, but holy crap. Stress is real. Just sneaking in and throwing my butt coins at you. Thank you. Ah, wow. How's everyone doing tonight? Oh, and actually, I'm going to give Sonoda a shout out too.
No.
Awesome. Oh, that's great. You're lucky I want to see ODST because that pony hour redeem is mighty tempting. Oh gosh. Okay, yeah. Okay, let's do it. Let's do it before it happens. Should fire up here in a second. But yeah, like lots of serious talking tonight. But anyway, thank you so much for the raid, Lelia. For everybody who popped in on the raid, my name is Ahty. I'm a transferee gamer from Oregon. I play a lot of. Oh, thank you so much for the follow. Thank you. I don't know how to spell your name, so I'm gonna do my best. Hakes404. Thank you so much for the follow. But from Oregon, I play mostly like story games, like Final Fantasy XIV mainly for right now. I've got plans for some other stuff. Halo is actually another great epic multi-game story that I've loved for years, you know. And plans in the near future. I've got Tales of Berseria on deck. Mass Effect. I'm gonna go through the trilogy again. Did I get it right the first time? Wow. That's amazing, actually. Lincoln City is the best beach in Oregon, and Bend, Oregon is a good place to visit during the summer. Ooh, yes. See, I live very close to Portland, but I am within about an hour of the coast. And that drive up 101 along the Oregon coast is one of my favorite things to do. I've only done it once, but I need to do it again. Speaking of, you also said my name perfect the first time too. Most people don't. Aw. I'm glad. I really hate knowing that I butchered somebody's name off the bat. But at any rate, like, where I was going with this is if all these things like story games and stuff and chill spaces that are LGBTQ friendly, where we talk about serious stuff and funny things and everything in between, if that's your jam, please feel free to follow. You know, catch some streams in the future. I usually stream on like Tuesdays and Fridays, Saturdays and Sundays. Lately, I've also been streaming on Monday with Paula and Sarah. We've been making our way through. We've been making our way through Borderlands the pre-sequel, which has been lots of fun. Speaking of which, we're doing it again tomorrow. But heck, yeah, thanks y'all for popping by and hanging out. We'll see if I can figure out ODST tonight. I was having a difficult time last night. I was like, wow, this is too different. Might not be too long till we're in Final Fantasy, though. We're at 4:18 in the queue now. It's actually, this is surprisingly chill for... Yeah, you can hear Final Fantasy.
What Ahty doing?
You can hear Final Fantasy in the background. Ah, Sky, how you doing?
Not.
Speaking of Sky, actually, I might give her a shout out because she has lots of nice clips too that'll play.
I was gonna save this move for my birthday next week, but since we're already riding this train, oh, what are you gonna say?
Uh-oh.
Oh, what are you gonna say, Mana?
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Show me the money,
Oh my god, sorry for the screaming. Oh my god, I'm gonna have to turn that down. Holy crap. Sorry. It's one of the times that she was broken on stream. But Sky is precious. Sky's a good bean. Y'all should definitely follow. You can hear I can hear Pancake in the background too. Wow. Meow. I didn't expect the clip to be that loud. I'm gonna have to figure out the volume on it. But yeah. So Attack Rack actually did all of my emotes and also my avatar.
You gonna tell us her name, Gunny?
Ms. Naval Intelligence. Our new boss. So check your mouths, find your chairs, and get set for a combat drama.
I can barely make it to your streams. I can't sub any more of them. Well, I mean, like, Skippy, like it. Skippy, if you want to sub, that's totally cool with me. I mean, like, but I mean, if you can't justify it, I mean, that's like that. I mean, that's valid. It's totally valid.
Squad, what's your status? Are you still with me, Buck?
Yeah. Give me a sec.
I hit the nut. My hex won't open. How about yours?
Works great.
Right. When you get done fooling around, I could use some help.
did I do something wrong? Because the only thing I regret about you and me, not knowing you were a spook when we first met. I would have been a lot less charming.
That's what I missed most about you, Buck. Where your mouth was always a little faster than your brain. Look, don't start about my job. We both agreed to end it.
That was years ago, Veronica. I'm a little fuzzy on the details. Must have met a lot of other saps since then. Why pick me for the safari?
First, you're the best soldier I know, and second, I don't remember that night. What you asked me in the morning?
I remember not getting an answer.
Say again, Buck. You're breaking up.
I said stay put. I'm on my way.
We missed our LZ. This grid is packed with Covenant. Be careful.
I appreciate the concern.
Won't be much of a rescue if you're dead.
Let's do it. Oh, wow. Multiple perspectives. That's interesting. Alright, let me catch up with chat real quick. I bought all the Halos and have been playing through with one of my daughters and haven't finished the second yet. What was that? What just happened? Ah, Snark Queen! Thank you so much for the 100 bits. Snark Queen, by the way, here. Snark Queen is a very old friend of mine, and y'all should absolutely follow. Absolutely. Hi, Isalberin, welcome. I'd be dipping for a bit and probably the night. I gotta get doing a couple of things. Okay, oh, already, Sonoda. Thank you so much for coming by. It was nice to see you too. Thank you so much. But yeah, Skippy, please don't feel obligated to sub all the time. I mean, like, literally the last thing I want to do is give you any sort of anxiety. And I got a bean. Bean. Bean! I miss it, but have been crazy busy. Now that I'm down to one job, hopefully things will settle out. Yeah. I'm just glad you grab something different and you're moving forward. That's the important thing. And y'all, if y'all aren't familiar with Skippy was actually one of my very first supporters when I decided to start streaming in the first place. And actually one of the first people that I came out to. He's been a really, really good friend for a lot of years, and I really don't know where I would be without him. Yeah, Snark Queen is a good friend also. Snark Queen I know from way back when, early furry days. Early. And also, she actually runs a Patreon community that surrounds gaming. Does some streaming, although she hasn't in a while, but will be returning to it soon. But if y'all are looking for, just like it's just a really interesting gaming journalism / blogging community on Patreon called Gamer Reverie. And I've been a patron of that for a long time as well. Skippy with the butt. Pets. There we go. I want that, though. Give me this. Why can't I pick it up? Oh, I can't pick it up because I have it already.
What will I do?
There we go. Come on, Nathan Fillion, you can recover from that.
Ready? Do we know it's clear?
That's enough. Let it run.
Got me. We're doomed.
You are doomed indeed.
Fireman!
Come get me, buddy. I don't know all the tricks. I don't know if there are too many tricks. Let's see. I'm trying to think of something neat.
Over here!
It kind of varies from stream to stream, depending on what people have, like, implemented or whatever.
I saw
Who's
your
this
pod
guy?
hit. You're one lucky SOB.
See any more come down?
Ah, negative. But I didn't see much of anything after that flash. But listen, some of these buildings are open. Should be able to get inside. Flank the Covenant on the streets.
Roger that. Thanks.
I don't know about y'all, but I feel ODST is like the Navy and Spec Ops of Halo. It definitely does have that feel, doesn't it? It's very different from actual Halo. Like, it's weird not being like some 7-foot-tall superhuman, right? Yeah, when Ahty said, I want to share my streams with you, I said, okay, but please don't eat asparagus first. Wow!
That's the path.
When's your A-team showing up, you lily-livered throw rugs? Another stick!
That hurt.
You bastards!
I need to find, like, a healthy station.
Ready? Let's go! Hey, let him go!
Here he is at last.
Did he just say Schlieben?
You Covenant scum!
You're not gonna survive this one, buddy. I know I'm supposed to flank them, but, like, it's more fun taking them head on. So let me catch up with chat real quick. By the way, folks, I have a snarky and sarcastic sense of humor, and I don't know this community well. If I say something offensive, please understand I'm learning. Yeah. I mean, that's absolutely Skippy. So IRL Marines are legit monsters when it comes to warfare, and the Spartans are mad scientist GMO-flavored ones. Well put, actually. Well said. And honestly, you know, no worries, Skippy, because, like, I don't know, there, like, a lot of the folks in the stream right now don't know you as well as I do, and, like, I know that, like, literally anything that you could possibly say, there is absolutely zero malice behind it. So, just, it's cool, and I wouldn't even worry about it too much. I need to find, like, a med pack, like, pretty dang soon.
Veronica, what's with all the dead elites?
What do you mean?
Looks like a family feud, like they were killed by brutes. Is there something I should know?
It's classified.
Ah, some things never change.
All this crap on the ground definitely looks like flood stuff, though. We cannot be encountering the flood that early in the game, though. I only got one round in that thing left.
Got a little tackle problem.
An overcharged plasma pistol shot will neutralize their shields. Should also take down a brute's armor.
Oh yeah? Where were you a minute ago?
Still trapped inside my pod.
Totally didn't expect to stick him in the head, though. Getting sniped. There we go. Where's the other one? Where's the other one? There we go. What the hell are these things? Never let a Marine go bored. He'll figure out a way to keep busy his own way. Coarse, dry humor. Yep. Tuzzy shall depart to go to sleep. Take care, Tuz. Have a good night, Tuz. Okay, where am I? Where is that? Oh, I see. There we go. Did it actually do that? I didn't even see it. Let me move that out of the way so it's not doing weird shit. There we go. And I'm in Final Fantasy. Okay, let me switch over here real quick. Let's see. Okay. So I think we're gonna switch over to Final Fantasy now that now that it's popped. So let me just do that real quick. My humor's changing. Ahty understands the throes my life is going through, but mostly in the positive direction. A lot of my sarcasm was from negativity. Yeah. But I'm really glad that things are going in more of a forward direction for you, because that's like, I don't know, that's really important. Oh wow, I didn't even know Nightbot could do that. Well, thank you, Fingies. You showed me a new thing. No, it's very true. It's very true, Skippy. So what am I supposed to be doing? Okay, so basically to catch everyone up on the stuff that was going on with Final Fantasy, we've been going through a bunch of the of Charlayan here, and now we are underground in their what do they call this again? I forget what they called this place, but it's like basically like it's an underground storage facility vault thing, where they keep quote-unquote knowledge, whether it's like books and stuff like that, or live specimens and things like that. I mean, the dome that you see here at the top is like, sure, that looks like the sky, but that is all man-made. And this thing right here, that's a man-made sun that simulates, like, you know, dawn and dusk and things. Labyrinthos, yeah. Yeah, there we go. More than 15, really. Yep, there are way more than 15 Final Fantasies. But yes, not exactly final. I don't know where they got the final from. You wish to help me find the Marmots? I've nothing suitable to pay you for your services, but if you're offering out of the goodness of your heart, I'd welcome the assistance. Hakes, I'll have to add you to regulars first, but let me do that real quick before we get going further here. Because if you put out the link, Nightbot will scold you. Ah, Pedro, welcome. Alrighty, Hakes. I will. Is it PG Does it, it doesn't violate Twitch TOS at all, does it? Okay, perfect. Yep, let the link fly, you're all set. The name is Aaronville, friend. Specialist in the collection of live specimens. That said, the capture of these Negaxian marmots is a trial I've no desire to repeat. Grizzled mice, they call them. For a mercy, there are no other marmot species on this tier at present, so there should be no mistaking our little fugitives. If you happen to catch any, stuff them in this sack. Gently, of course. Where to begin, you wonder? I've not seen any scampering around here, so you'll need to widen our search into the surrounding forest. Be on your guard. There are beasts out there that won't hesitate to prey on a marmot, or you. I'll search the trees to the west. The eastern part of the forest is all yours. Good luck. Alright, so where are we going? Where are we going? There we go. Forest underground? Yes. This is the Labyrinthos. That's below Charlean. This is kind of like a giant archive of sorts. Okay, there's one. Alright. Perfect. I think I get it. Yeah, it's like basically it's an archive of sorts for all for living things, for all sorts of knowledge and tomes and things like that. It's really interesting how it all works. Oh, there's one. Okay, I guess we're gonna do another one. Oof, I can't wait to get back to Alan again. Seeing Skippy in the chat is just like, I want to land right now. It's over here somewhere. Alrighty, Hakes. Bye, Mr. Troll. Did I get beaned again? I did get beaned, yes. But I think it's actually just about time I went back to regular. So there we go. Oh, 2 trolls. Thank you, Pedro. More prepared for its speed this time, you succeed in closing the sack over your elusive quarry. Nice. Deliver the squirming rat sack to Erinville. Gladly. This place is super cool, though. I love it. Welcome back, Cakes. Come on, Nugs. We got running to do. You're welcome, and thank you for becoming my mod, even if I do stream when you're about to take a nap. No worries. I was lurking quite a bit, actually. Oh, pets. Oh, you did 3 of them, so I'm just going to do 3. How's that? How did you fare? I tracked down 3 of the pack, which leaves 1 unaccounted for. There you go, and there's your marmot. Oh, there's the odd marmot out. Wait here a moment while I put our friends in the holding cage. Thankfully, the marmots seem to be unharmed. They've held up well in isolation, but it's too much too soon to release them into the habitat. It's a good thing we were able to recapture them so swiftly. You have my thanks. What will you do with the marmots now? That's for the forum to decide. They are the guiding authority behind Labyrinthos, after all. And this job was but one small part of this great inventory of theirs. Suitable for consumption and easy to breed, those were the two conditions I was given for the stock I was instructed to procure. Giving them a spada, yes. I don't know what the Forum has planned for these creatures, but at the very least, I doubt they'll be served for dinner today or tomorrow. Oop. More pipettes, there we go. Ah, there you are, Ahty. Is this the gleaner you mentioned? The one who was looking for lost marmots? Interesting company you keep, friend. Who are you folk, anyway? I am Kryl of the Students of Baldessian, and these are my associates. Truth be told, the Forum's decisions of late have not sat entirely well with us. That is why we made the descent into Labyrinthos. We hope that by seeing those decisions put into action, we might more fully understand their reasoning. Wise and practical. Never hurts to try and gain a broader perspective, does it? Anyway, duty calls, other animals to capture, and enclosures to empty. Once again, I'm sorry that I can't offer you more for your services. Did you learn anything new from your friend there? Also, thanks for giving a shout out to my Twitch page on the previous stream, Ahty. I wish I could help you out in return. No worries. I mean, like I said before, I mean we're all in this, you know, for the same reasons, and you know, and we're all doing the same thing, and we all want the same stuff. So I just think it's natural that, you know, we do our best to help each other. So we've confirmed that the order for this ambitious operation did indeed come directly from the Forum. However, the Gleaners have not been informed of its purpose. I'd say that fits with everything we've heard so far. He said suitable for consumption and easy to breed. Yes he did, Ahty. So sounds like... basically sounds like a chicken. But it's not a chicken. We also discovered that the operation was begun. The Forum contacted the Gleaners guild ship and put their people to this great work some 4 days after the Talaferoi made their chilling declaration. Okay. So it almost sounds like that Charlayan are basically declared their neutrality, decided not to help Eorzea with the coming issue, and they're thinking...
What's Ahty doing?
They're basically
What's
just...
Ahty doing?
Thank you, Ayami. So basically they're thinking that, oh, whatever's happening in Eorzea won't happen here. But we have to make sure that, you know, the stuff from Eorzea survives all of this. So, heck the people, we'll just, you know, save the wildlife, so to speak. Ah, yes, thank you, Ayami. I have been hydrating. And pets. Doing pretty well, Ayami. Thank you. Hopefully you're feeling better. As seasoned travelers, the Gleaners keep abreast of news from every corner of the world out of necessity. Thus am I inclined to trust that their calendar of events is accurate. Altogether, it gives a distinct impression that this undertaking was a sudden and unexpected development. And are you hydrating, Ayami? I hope so. As I'm making a squinty face towards the screen. Yet I find it hard to believe that such a comprehensive restructuring of Labyrinthos and its archives could have been been planned in so brief a window. Nay, this plan was long in the making. They were but awaiting the right time to put it into effect. Oh. So maybe the Forum is in league with everything that's going on? That's interesting. Just popping in. Sent you the details of my shader in Discord. Hope everything is well. Yes, Tozu, I got that. Thank you so much for that. I still have to look it over and poke at it. I just took a huge sip of a drink. I've been hydrating as well. Lots of water, ginger ale, and tea. Good. And I hope you're feeling better. I sincerely do. I know they have edible panties, but I feel like that's something a company that makes edible toys would say. Yummy gummy tubes. Suitable for consumption and easy. Wow. What hakes? And the Telophorus declaration was what set it all in motion? It seems likely, but let us not leap to conclusions just yet. For the moment, I suggest we conduct a wider investigation of Labyrinthos. The more facilities we visit, the more pieces of the puzzle we'll stand to find. I'm doing both worse and better, coughing a lot and in a lot of physical pain, but other than that, and not able to smell or taste anything, I'm a lot better. Well, that's good at least. Just take it easy, because like if you really do the strenuous thing, then yeah, that's a good way to get the long COVID thing, and you don't want that, trust me. Ahty, should I go for a stream on Final Fantasy XIV tomorrow? I'm wondering. Pedro, you should do what you want to do. I mean, like, Final Fantasy XIV is really popular right now, so you could do that. You could give it a shot. Time to eat a lot of health food things that normally taste super nasty. Yeah, there you go. That's an idea. I gotta prep dinner. I'll be right back. Okay. Take care, Ryu. I'm trying really hard to relax as much as I can. Yeah, definitely. A ton of sleep. In that case, how about we head to the Archeon? From there, we can reach the lower... what is going on here? Kryl, what's wrong? I'm fine, truly. The sudden descent has left me with a bit of a headache, that's all. Nothing that will stop me from soldiering on. Let's be about it, then. At least allow me to take the lead. I'm fairly certain I remember the way to the Archeon. What's going on with Kryl? That's like the second time she's done that. Plus, I got my character on the same path as yours, Ahty. Ooh, cool! Very nice. We follow the path east through the forest where you were chasing after that mouse. Or marmot, was it? Anyway, 'tis the trolls you need to watch out for. Remember, talk to the extras. Alright. So basically, like, you know, all the side quests that are here, right where we are? Okay, will do. There's the Outer Circuit Researcher. Interesting. What does quest sync mean? I haven't seen that before. Oh, I see, okay. As you progress in MSQ, it opens up new quests in each area, so everything follows the same story beats. Okay. It was a thing introduced in Shadowbringers that syncs to your level. Oh, I see. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to schedule the stream tomorrow. Let's see. How do I schedule here on Twitch? So, Pedro, I haven't done any of that sort of thing. Usually I update people on my schedule via Discord or my Twitter. That sort of thing. So the schedule that you see in my about me section, those are all kind of that's like a little extension that you can install into that panel. But I have it more so people know exactly when I'm planning to stream, and I try to stick with a fixed schedule. Yeah, I don't know about that. I mean, if I... Oh, wow. Corrosia, thank you so much for the raid. Heck. Let me show you the new thing that we added. Alright, and when I do a shout out, it automatically does a little clip thing. Or it should. Here we go.
Enjoy.
Oh, even Sodro's throwing shade.
Sorry about that. We just despised the police is all.
It's kind of weird when you say it with a smile like that.
So? Why'd you rescue us?
We'd appreciate it if you'd get to the point.
Fine, fine. I'll skip the runaround and just tell you.
Heck, awesome. Thank you so much for the raid, Corrosia. So yeah, it's like a Twitch guru thing, you know, where it like grabs like a random clip out of like what you have posted. So when I do the shout out, not only does it provide a link for somebody to follow and pop into your stream, but it also plays a random clip, which is really cool. And again, I apologize for the clip with the tack rack earlier. Like, I didn't expect it to be that loud, so I have to kind of rein in the volume on that. Pedro, no you're not. If you have at least one viewer, you can raid. So I'll accept this. Excuse me, do you have a moment? I have an urgent task to attend to, and I could use some assistance. As the supervisor of this sector, I was concerned with how cool the air in Mornvale Forest felt as I walked through on my usual rounds. Ordinarily, it should be a touch more humid. My colleagues assure me that the gauges are displaying acceptable temperatures and, well, hinted that I was being oversensitive. My instincts, however, inform me otherwise. Would you mind assisting me with a more thorough investigation? Thank you. Payment will be forthcoming, of course, but first, let us begin by assessing the problem from within the forest itself. That could be dangerous because you might get one of the clips Barius et al. Took to get me cancelled. Well, it is what it is. Well, the thing is, the only viewer on all of my streams is myself. Well, I don't think it counts you. That's the thing. You've got to have somebody else in the stream. There's somebody else in there. Could do that too. Yeah, if you wanted to... I use the Twitter app on my phone to keep tracking on the message. Take a close look at this mist sprayer. You'll find these devices throughout Mornvale Forest. I need you to see if they're functioning properly. It's nothing too complicated. If the sprayer's crystal is glowing blue, that means it's working. If the crystal is dull, then it's most likely broken. Here, I'll jot down the locations of the sprayers I wasn't able to check yet. Meanwhile, I'll go and see if there are any problems in Mistloom. That's the big tower over there responsible for regulating the sprayers. That can be our meeting spot once you've finished checking the devices. Interesting, okay. Interesting, okay. I guess I never realized that I count as a viewer even though I'm streaming. There's another one over here, but up top. Okay. It's up from where I am, which is odd. Oh, I see. How do I get up there? Doot. Speak with the researcher. She is this way. Oops. Here we go. Well, the Mistloom technicians can detect nothing awry with the tower's workings. Any issues with the sprayers? Yep, one's borked. The sprayer's job is to keep this area blanketed in mist, to accurately simulate the moist-laden air of certain forest habitats. One broken device had no effect on the temperature, but the humidity had fallen out of the optimal range. If we hadn't caught the change, we would have started seeing an adverse effect on the forest's flora and fauna. Nice work, but I didn't bring your payment with me. Come back to Upper Akranthos, and we can settle accounts there. Speak with the researcher once more, alright. So Karoja, how was the rest of Persona tonight? I was actually rather intrigued that Table wasn't the final boss, or it didn't seem like it was the final boss. Are you actually done with it now, or... I got the stream scheduled that starts at 6 p.m. and goes all the way to midnight GMT. Ah, cool. Sweet. Thank you again for agreeing to help. It does show that mechanical gauges aren't always as important as trusting one's own senses. Your remuneration, as promised. Now I must see about organizing repairs for that broken sprayer. Perfect. There's another quest over here. Hiya, Kryuki. Welcome. Nut. Oh, pets. There we go. Ooh, this one has a ring coffer. Interesting. Ahem. Ho there, friend. Fancy lending a hand to a gleaner in need? Ooh, I'm getting pumpkined. First pumpkin of the night. Pumpkin! I'm fairly new to all this gleaning business, so it's only proper that someone with the requisite, experience deliver this very important Oldon alchemical compound to the research facility. You know, that's one a short way to the west.
No.
Hey, I was here during and after the raid, Ahty.
Doing?
Also remember to compare the item level on the coffer to what you're wearing. It may not necessarily be an upgrade yet. Ah, I see. I was assuming I was just going to be, like, saving these for a rainy day. But we'll see. Why not ask a fellow gleaner? Oh, I couldn't do that. They'd never take me seriously again. No, I need someone bold and brave and unconnected to me in social circles. In other words, an itinerant adventurer, like you. I would do it myself, of course, but duty calls. Just deliver this package to someone in a position of seniority, and I promise I'll be back here to pay you for the favor. I mean, that's valid too. Easy way to gear a second or third or job. Yep, okay. Yeah, I'm gonna be going. I'm tired. Oh, that's valid. Thank you so much for coming by, Hakes. I really appreciate it. And thank you so much for the follow earlier as well. I really, it helps. It helps more than you know. I'm more saying don't reflexively open it just because you have it. Since what job you're on determines what's inside. Ah, yes. I'm gonna share you with my friend Sora. Aw, thank you so much. Hopefully this compound is not a bomb, because I don't want to deliver something bad. Take care, Hakes. Sleep well. I could jump, but I would most assuredly be injured. And y'all, I just want to say that thank you all so much for sticking around and just winding down tonight with me. It really means a lot. How do I get down there? I guess I just have to go this way and then, like, meander down that way. Ahty, I'm about to go to bed. I got the stream scheduled on the same hour that you came to my stream and say hi. It's going to be a 6 hours long stream. Oh, cool. Awesome. I'll do my best to make it. Monday through Friday, I'm a little indisposed during the day. I have a full-time day job that I work during the week. Yeah, I was thinking that, like, this is this is how I go down. I don't know how to get down there. Follow past east for MSQ. For the side quest, head west. Okay. I'm gonna link up with this this aetherite real quick first, and then I'll go back the other way. Ouch! Then that's going to be a pain. Yeah, I mean, another crappy thing about time zones and stuff. But it is what it is. You know, I'll do my best to make it. So no guarantees. The best times for me to make your streams probably would be on the weekends. Because I'm pretty much around all day. Yeah, that's where MSQ is in Alphano, but I'm gonna do the side quest first. Weekends, then. I'll give it a shot. Okay. Oof, this place is pretty.
What the Ahty doing?
They see you run by and ask, what the Ahty doing? Interesting. It's all kinds of people just tromping around over here. Oop, hold on 1 second. Oh, thank you so much, Sorikins, for the follow. Heck. Rhino Rub. Wish there was a way to play the Chocobo race theme as you ride the Chocobo around the field. Also the rainbow effect just to add that maximum overdrive. Yeah, usually like by default there's the Chocobo riding theme, but not the race one. And I have the chocobo riding one disabled because it got real repetitive real quick. I'm getting close to where I need to be. And a reindeer wants to fight me. Okay. May I help you? Give him the compound. Ah yes, the Old Dawn compound. Excuse me, but whatever happened to the gleaner I was told to expect? You don't quite match his description. And so here you are, in his stead. I thought that might be the case. This facility primarily studies small vilekin and their ilk, and their role as carriers of disease. As such, we seem to have become the subject of some rather unsettling, not to mention wholly unsubstantiated rumors. I imagine some senior gleaner was amusing himself by taunting his junior colleague with scary half-truths and outright fabrications. The scholar lend me patience, but such jests lead to no end of trouble for us. Oh, I picked it up at the little main rotunda thing, like next to the elevator that we came down in. Ahty, here's a funny thing. You play as a Bard Makoti, while I play as a Dark Knight or Ra into Endwalker. Yeah. I just picked up where I left off, like when I stopped playing. I probably should have just started out from the beginning again, but In any case, I thank you for bringing me my delivery. Should you happen to return our faint-hearted gleaner, pray do me the service of setting him straight on what it is we do here. Sidurgo's second cousin? I don't know who Sidurgo is. I have to go back there now. Alright. And I see Ryu running towards me, but I'm going back the opposite way. It's a Dark Knight thing. Okay, I'll see it. I'll see it soon enough. Hiya, Cairo. I think I might start doing Dark Knight next. I have yet to do a tank character. It might be kind of cool. But Dark Knight has a good story, but Ahty will need to level from 30 to 80 first. Okay, so I think I have to start out as warrior and then do it? Is that correct? You're back, and not suffering from any horrible maladies? Well, nothing visible anyway. Well, wait. Okay, so level... what do I level up to 30 to, then? Oh, you can just get... okay, got it. What's that? You think someone's been having a laugh at my expense? But the others told me. They said the researchers ordered a forbidden substance from Olda so they could concoct some kind of zombie powder, and that gleaners who deliver it are often never seen again. Aye, that does sound a bit unlikely now that I say it out loud. Grrr. Those lying bastards. Right, well, here's what I owe you, plus a little extra for keeping quiet. Gods above, I'll never live this down. Ah, I see. Can I walk through here? Nope. Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to be a cat. Alright, and there seems to be one more quest over here, and then I can go talk to Alphino. It reminded me from Christopher Nolan's movie title trilogy with the same name. I can show you my lovely character on the next stream, though. At this hour, I'll be offline on the stream. My time zone is Ahty's, plus 6 hours ahead. Okay. Oh, definitely, but this is less rich vigilante beating up people in a costume. Where's my questie? Okay, there he is. Excuse me, but aren't you the one who was assisting Erinville? If you have a moment, I could also use some help with a certain task. And more, aren't you tired of being nice? Don't you just want to go apeshit? We just talked about the Dark Knight name title. Okay, gotcha. It's 3:36 a.m. here, so I'm 6 hours ahead of you, Ahty. That's what Oh. Please don't tell me you have Leroy Jenkins in your party. I do not. Cairo is far from Leroy Jenkins, trust me. Simply put, I'm to hunt down a number of caribou. But as this is the first job I've accepted which requires a degree of violence, I'm not entirely confident in how I should approach my prey. You seem like the type of woman who's seen her fair share of combat. What if I could observe you from concealment while you engage my target fauna? Cairo, oh my god. I wouldn't need you to spend all day on it, of course. 1 or 2 examples in the forest west of here should be plenty. Let's say 2, shall we? I'll even pay you. Please? Thank you, Ahty. Okay, here's a caribou right here. Tried to kick me, that mean bastard. There we go. Poor caribou. Poor thing. I just need one more caribou. I think this got a little bit more complicated with the spiders too. There we go. To go back to the gleaner. Nice. I got 14 bicolor gemstones. Sweet. Oh, interesting. It's another type of currency. Ah, gotcha. Okay. Oops, I was already on a chocobo. Okay, there we go. So if it's around 12, Pedro, usually I take my lunch break around then. I might be able to pop in very briefly. We've also provided a service by culling a few Labyrinthios' more prolific animals. Lest you worry, it's essential we reduce the caribou's numbers every now and again to maintain a stable habitat. Ahty, I'm going to bed before I go. Can I do something cool? Oh, absolutely. And nothing here is killed for mere sport. Every part of a carcass is harvested and put to use. A practice I will make sure to carry out with the creatures you slew. There are still a few more that need culling, but I think I can handle that on my own now. Such as the Gleaner's Lot, and I should learn how to do it sooner rather than later. Oh, I'm getting beamed! Bean! Have a great night, Pedro. Sleep well. Oh, and here's your payment. Wish me luck. Perfect. Alright, now we talk to Alphino. Ah, Pedro, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Behold, the Archeon. As Numenon serves as Charlene's literary archive, so does this structure house the city's wealth of material data. Ah, yeah. Okay. This is the foremost material archive in Charlene. I should love to explore its treasures shelf by shelf, but I fear we have little time for such indulgences. Thank you for the reminder, Ryu. Pedro, I will do my best. And yeah, I know I can't be there for all of them, but yeah, I definitely want to try and support the absolute best that I can, you know. Were you caught in mist on your way here? The sprayers keep the air humid, so the habitat feels as close as possible to a natural forest. Don't worry about me. I'm hale and healthy. In fact, I'm beginning to suspect that... Nay, let's discuss this later. The investigation demands our undivided attention.
What's Ahty doing?
Thank you for the pets. Oh, I did the wrong one, so I guess I'll just do all three. There you go. Thank you so much, Iyami. I'm still really curious as to what's going on with Kryl. I hope she's okay. Hey, sorry. I was chatting with Senseless about stuff. Oh, no worries. Been here the whole time. Ah, that's cool. That's cool, Corrosia. No worries. Or have you been here the whole time? Very nice. Okay, I already read that one. The architecture, too, is similar. This building you see is merely the upper entrance, an access point to the vaults carved into the cliffside itself. Love you too, Iyami. Within those vast rooms are stored countless samples and specimens, as well as the detailed records which describe them. In a manner of speaking, the Archeon contains a physical history of Charlene's unwavering dedication to the accumulation of knowledge. The stream was just me and Senseless, and we're entering the lull of P3 before the finale. Ah, gotcha. Well, good night to all. And Ahty, it's always so fun to watch your streams. If someone happens to me and I can't be here, I'll leave a DM to you so that you don't get worried like you were when I vanished all of a sudden because I had COVID. Okay, that's fair. Yeah, it's just before you seemed like so excited to like be here and like, you know, for like us to like, you know, meet, and we were playing Final Fantasy and then you weren't around for a while. I just, yeah, I legit hoped nothing bad happened to you, but I'm glad you made it through. But yeah, it kind of felt like back when I first got into streaming, just me and Senseless hanging out and watching a game. Yeah, and see, I just don't know what to do about stuff. I just hope you stick with it because, like, you know, stuff has got to change. It has to. She tried out some voice acting tonight, which was fun, and then we found out we don't get to take the dog on the school field trip, so I'm currently preparing to ransack Atlas's headquarters. Oh, okay. Well, we won't learn anything of value standing out here. Let us proceed into the main building and speak with the custodian. Yeah, Pedro, that's... yeah. Because I knew a little geography, and I know that, you know, since you're from Portugal, I know Spain is like a pretty close neighbor. And I know the virus hit them pretty hard, and continues to hit them pretty hard. And it's just like overseas, it's really bad. And I think like a certain amount of that same thing is going on here in the U.S. However, our government is really doing its best to hide the actual impact of a lot of stuff. Hi, Asorikins! Thank you so much for your follow earlier. It's that I'm streaming an old and semi-obscure game, have 0 Twitter engagement, and since it's old and semi-obscure, nobody's viewing that category at all, so it is what it is. Well, that's the thing also, is like you're kind of relying on friends to pop in and hang out and kind of spread the word that way. But I probably have just about 0 Twitter engagement on my posts too when I'm advertising, so I mean it is what it is. We're all working against multiple algorithms. So, well, we won't learn anything of value standing out here. Let us proceed into the main building and speak with the custodian. Agreed. I'll do the quests out here once I'm done inside. Yeah, and most of my friends are busy with other things, or there are the friends who just kind of disappeared. So basically left with trying to build organic growth on a stream that isn't streaming the latest games. Here's the custodian. Greetings. We are here to peruse the Archeon's vaults. Peruse? You are clearly not gleaners, then. May I ask your affiliation? We belong to the students of Baldessian, but is that relevant? I was given to the belief that the vaults, those open to the public at least, were open to the public. Ordinarily, yes. That would be the case. At present, however, access is restricted. Only persons directly involved in the reorganization efforts are permitted to enter. Not us, then. I suppose we had better move along to another facility. This building has a lift which connects to the middle tier, yes? Might we at least make use of that? That service has also been suspended, I'm afraid. For the time being, priority has been given over to the conveyance of inventory. What? So this is as far as we can go? I apologize for the inconvenience. Please come again after our restructuring operation has concluded. By that time it will be too late, and we are getting so close to getting answers. We need to rethink our approach. Let us step outside for the moment, shall we? But again, it is what it is, trying to stay positive, developing content for TikTok and YouTube to maybe get engagement from there, but also just to be creating things again. Talked with Bradbury about this, but because of repeated failures in my life alongside untreated mental illness, I just kind of tossed away my identity and locked away any part of me that liked creating things. Because what was the point? I'm a failure, I suck, I can't do anything, and I'll never amount to anything. Kuroja, I mean, I don't know. Like, I know that you probably believe that crap, but I don't. Because that's exactly what it is. That's crap. Again, if someone weren't here, someone here didn't have COVID, make sure you don't get it at all. Yes, Ahty, Portugal and Spain had their cases of the virus dangerously super high. But the deaths in Portugal were way lower than Spain's and even lower than the USA and Brazil, sadly, yeah. Lately I've been getting back in touch with that part of me and feel happy about it. Happy about making things and being me. Well, I'm glad to hear that. And like I've said lots of times before, Kuroja, like if there's anything I can do to help with stuff, even if it's just like little tiny things, like I'm all about helping out. Whatever I can do. You know, and it just goes without saying, because, like, you know, I feel that, like, you know, I don't know. I'd like to think that we were friends. And that, because, like, I mean, heck, it kind of seems like it. So, I mean, like, again, whatever support or encouragement or literally anything I can do. It's crap, but it's also a result of investing years running a website, writing, and covering news and stuff that not even my own friends cared to read. So that gets you down when you've made something nobody wants to see. Yeah, I get that. I really get that. Finally got my mental illness treated. Life is completely different. The first step is the hardest, but it's worth it. Sending much love and encouragement. Oof. Ahty, how about we give some cheer up to Kuroja? I don't mind at all. Yeah, Kuroja is a really good person, and like y'all definitely you should follow, because some of the games he plays are like definitely not what you would normally see. And like, you know, in a website that like, basically focuses on a handful of games being popular, like seeing somebody like basically take their time to play something that lots of people don't even know exist is a rarity. And if you really wanted to broaden your horizons in games that like you don't typically see on an everyday basis, Kuroja is literally the person you should be watching. I'm working through that and just trying to be happy making things now, making whatever I feel like and feeling excited about. You should. You should do whatever you want to do. And like, you know, whether folks are like, you know, watching that stuff or not, something you do is going to grab the right person. And then it'll just go from there. I was lucky enough to get Medicaid a while back and have been on meds now, and have definitely improved me, especially on the side of certain ideations, yeah. Life is so much better when things are treated, and you've got a good support system. But the meds are good, very good, yeah. That's why I'm happy to have folks like you, and Ahty, and Bradbury, and Oizen, and Chewin, and... I'm already following Kuroja. I'm your new follower. Ah, awesome. Let's go meds. Gotta love the meds. Yeah, it's just that Kuroja, like, I desperately, like, I really want you to feel, like, you know, I can't make you feel it, but, like, you know, I want to see you, like, happy and... and just feel good, because like, you know, every time I'm in your streams and just chilling and watching, whether I'm like, you know, working on homework I took home during the week, or like I'm just relaxing, like, your streams are just really chill and really enjoyable, and I literally want everyone to know that. Everybody should be watching all that stuff, because it's really awesome. Alrighty, hurry back, Skippy. We need to rethink our approach. Let us step outside for a moment, shall we? Students of Baldessian. Wow, what a dick, actually. Hi, Mo Savage, welcome. We are at an impasse. As we have no other leads, I should like to peruse this one further. But I doubt our stone-faced custodian will be swayed by heartfelt pleas. We must seek another means to access the lower levels. Yeah, dumb. Okay. Anyway, sorry to depress chat and then dip, but I need to do laundry so I can wash Grandpa's blanket, and then get him some ice cream and make some supper for myself. Alrighty, Kuroja. Take care, okay? Hey, Ahty, can you pick yes or no for me? It's very important. Bye-bye. Ahty, Kuroja, Kryuki, Yuno, and everyone else I met today, I wish you all the best night. I hope to see you again. Oh, you will, Pedro. Mo Savage, I'm a little hesitant not knowing what I'm saying yes or no to. I think I would need to know what the question would be before I can give an answer. It's where the sub goes. Okay. Okay, so I think my answer would be yes. Alright, so let's see. Speak to people outside the Archeon. Alright. Ah, thank you for continuing that gift sub you got from Hobohound. Thank you so much, Mo Savage. Amazing. Thank you. Let's see, okay. Bone Weary Worker. Yeah, that notification is a little loud. Maybe I need to tone it down a bit. What's that? Take you down on the lift with me? Sorry, but not a chance. I've been up and down all day, and only now have I finally found a spare moment to rest. I did see your gleaner fellow heading out to the gate there, though, shouldering a large pack, engaged in some manner of task. Maybe he'll be headed down below after he's done with whatever he's doing. Ah, thank you so much for the gift sub, Mo Savage. Thank you for gifting it to Ayami. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Here's the other one. All right. Oh, pets. There we go. Am I taking the lift? Oh no, we're just students. They won't let us into the Archeon, even though we found... Actually, we have no idea what it is we found. There's no record of such a creature anywhere, but it was wandering around Tranquility, and so we thought to donate it to the vaults. Oh, I forgot about the butt check. Oddest little squeal, don't you think? Anyway, I suppose we'll have to take care of it until the Archeon is open again. Oh, it's outside the circle. Who is in the box? I don't know who's in the box. I'm in the box. I can't let you out. You belong to the students now. Interesting. Oh, there it is. It's Erinville. Interesting. Okay. Quiet, you'll frighten it away. Ah, it's you again. I don't mean to be rude, but I'm in the middle of another task. The Cloudkin I need to capture is close, very close. You wish to help me with this too? You spend your time in unusual ways, my friend. Still, 2 hunters are generally better than 1. Very well. The canal here is a common gathering spot for birds of all kinds, but the one I'm after today is the hornbill. Its feathers are green and its cry is a distinctive caw. Single it out and shoot it with this sleeping dart. Alrighty. Take care, Mo Savage. Have a great sleep. Thank you so much for the resub and the gift sub to Iyami. Thank you so much. The effects are short-lived, so I'll lie in wait down by the riverbank to claim our quarry. Be sure to hit the right one. Okay, I'm supposed to shoot a bird with a dart. And looks like Ryu is already on the case. Oh, I see. Here we are. Stand at the sparkles. God damn it, Midgard-Sormer. Search your surroundings for the hornbill. You may move the camera as well as zoom in and out. Target the hornbill and use the blowgun with left click. I got it in the ass. Yay!
A fair shot. Nicely done. Let me truss this one up, and I'll make my way over to you.
All the time, plants guy.
There you are. Any new revelations? So you met with that gleaner again, this time to capture a hornbill. I understand catching and bringing in creatures from the outside, but what's the point of chasing after ones already here?
Oh, it's a simple thing, really. Occasionally, we remove specimens no longer needed for study, or those we've had difficulty raising. But we can't simply turn them loose. Safely returning such creatures to their native habitats is another facet of a cleaner's duties. But not in this case, I'm afraid. I've been asked to bring the bird below.
The restricted section in the lower levels of Labyrinthos. Open only to a select few researchers hand-picked by the Forum. The projects down there are the subject of rumor and hearsay. Forbidden magics. Advanced technologies that can never be allowed to fall into outside hands. Even Archons are not privy to the truth. Those who are, the researchers involved in this secretive work, are not permitted to walk freely in the city, and are instead required to live in isolated quarters.
What could a facility subject to such strict security protocols possibly need with a hornbill? An experiment?
Possibly. I wasn't afforded an explanation. But judging by the requisition list given to me and my colleagues, I doubt it's for any kind of advanced research. I'd be more inclined to believe we were making preparations to migrate to the south. Mericidia or thereabouts.
What? Why would you say that?
Much of the flora and fauna we were asked to procure could serve as reliable sources of sustenance.
Interesting.
They're comparatively hardy species too, able to endure harsh climates. And among them are specimens known to be effective in improving soil quality and purifying water.
When you put it that way, migration does sound like a reasonable assumption.
That's all it is, though. An assumption. Through our tasks, we gleaners glimpse only bits and pieces of the Forum's plans. Our prime concern is that our requisitions, be they living or otherwise, are properly preserved for the knowledge of future generations. Now, I really must be going. I regret that I cannot reward you as you deserve.
Perhaps you might reward us after a fashion then. It is imperative that we reach the lower levels. And seeing as you are already set to descend with your assigned cargo, Mayhap we could accompany you as your assistants.
I like the way she thinks.
I'm afraid that won't be possible. Once the animals have been prepared for transport, we send them down separately via the lift. I will of course follow after to make my report, but I can hardly pass you off as porters when there's nothing left to carry.
Indeed. Pray forget I said anything.
How do you feel about climbing? If you've strength and the courage to brave it, then there is another way down.
Interesting.
This path leads to the 33rd facet, a mine shaft excavated during one of our expansions of Labyrinthos. While I cannot guarantee that the passage is safe to traverse, it should provide access to the medial circuit below.
I never even knew such a place existed. Thank you. This is the perfect solution.
Yeah, I did see several side quests. So I'm gonna stick around here before we go down that mine shaft.
You're quite welcome, but consider yourselves warned. If the going proves too treacherous, you'd do well to turn back. I bid you good day.
Well, turning back is hardly an option, not when we've come this far. Let's go and take a look at this mine shaft.
Yeah, I like Aaronville a lot. Interesting. Okay. Hop back on the chicken. Okay, so there's one tinier exclamation point. There's this one at the gemstone trader. Then there's Chatbert. It will be alright. I just need to... Oh gods, what do I do? Oh, I see. Oh, okay. The gemstone trader deals in the bicolor gemstones. Got it. Okay. I asked a gleaner to bring me a lively coblin specimen, but perhaps I was a tad too insistent on the lively part? The thing flung itself about with such force that it broke the wall of its enclosure and escaped. For a moment, I considered chasing after it myself, then realized it would likely beat my soft academic frame into a bloody pulp. You, on the other hand, seemed to possess a rather high degree of fortitude. The last I saw, it was skittering off towards Mornvale Forest. Please track down and subdue our frisky fugitive, stuff it in this sturdy sack, then bring it back here to me. My humble gratitude will be yours, as well as a generous reward. Oh goody, a snipe hunt! Yep. You get the right of it. Oop, there's the destination right there. The telltale purple smoke. It says it's an invalid target, though, so... Oh, that's weird. What just happened there? That's bizarre. You gotta beat it up some for... Alright. It kept telling me invalid target, though. That's bizarre. Okay. Let's give this another shot. Interesting. Yeah, because it stops you from killing it outright. Yeah, I mean, but I was like clicking on the square, but I think maybe I was moving around while I was clicking it. So that might be why it wasn't doing anything. Did you get it? Did you bag the goblin? I did. Oh, okay. Oh, praise the scholar. You see, I've been assigned to evaluate the dietary claims of a work entitled Goblin Cuisine, and had been about to prepare my first dish. How will it taste? How will it taste? Is it even edible? You, my friend, have made it possible for me to answer such questions. Thank you for your contribution to culinary science. And this was the last we ever heard of Chatbert because he poisoned himself. Rip Chatbert. Alright. You have an air of dangerous competence, and you are most certainly not Charlayan. Yes, yes, you should do nicely. For what, you may ask? As the overseer of the wildlife in this sector, I often find myself in need of new volunteers to help with the feeding. While I am perfectly content to perform the task myself, it would be, unwise to allow the carnivores to grow too accustomed to my scent, or that of any of my colleagues for that matter. Which is why I am pleased to encounter fresh meat like you. If you'll excuse the phrase. So, what say you to a brief foray into the forest? You will be provided with suitable recompense, of course. Wonderful. Here, take these hunks of raw flesh and just set them down at these locations. Hurry back as soon as you're done. Mmm, flesh. Oh, Kyra, are you doing all these same quests the same time I am? I had no idea. How did you get down there? I was waiting to do them with you. Oh, okay, I see. Here's the next one over here. Bonk! There we go. Just one more. My autopilot chicken ran me off a cliff. Aww. Okay. That's the next one. So y'all, if I gave somebody the phone number for my work in chat, would y'all be interested in calling me in sick to work tomorrow? I kind of just don't want to go.
The nozzle.
The nozzle. Well, see, like I don't want to call and be like, I'm sick. So can somebody from chat like call my work, pretend to be me, and say that I'm sick? It's a joke. But look at you, all finished with that distinct lack of bleeding and sobbing. This is why I prefer to employ mercenary types to feed our more aggressive specimens. Fortunately, I can simply let the carnivores hunt down their own meals much of the time, but this is a closed habitat. Hi, this is Ahty Stripe speaking. You know, the one who works here. I've turned into a bean, and I can't make it in today. I've turned into a pillow. If we don't intervene to fill their bellies on occasion, the delicate equilibrium between predator and prey will all come crashing down. Thank you for helping to maintain that balance. No, I'm not really serious. Because simply, like, you know, I'm not used to... Because my job now, basically all I have to do is send an email. And be like, hey, I'm not feeling well. But honestly, I feel fine. So, yeah, I mean, I should probably just go. Let's talk to Vielle. Ah, Midgard Sormer. Jesus. There we go. I'm terribly sorry to bother you, but might I ask a small favor? I just saw the gleaner I'd hired for a job, and he seemed awfully, well, jittery, I suppose is the word. Yeah, but it's more like Midgard Sormer's hitbox with the mouse is a little larger than it really should be. So I always end up clicking him rather than what I really want to click. And I don't want to dismiss him because, like, it's Midgard Sormer. So, you know. And when I tried to ask him what the matter was, he met my eyes for a moment, then bolted out of the room. Ah, yeah, that's true. Maybe I should do that. I should like to catalog the items he was meant to bring and get them safely stored, but I refuse to play this ridiculous game of Kurilla and Mouse. Would you mind tracking him down for me? The last I saw of him, he was dashing off towards Passemerant Postureponics. Speak with the jittery gleaner. Yeah, I think I was about to say, I think we should be going this way. But I think around the side here. Aw, thank you, Iyami. Although me calling in sick to work just because I don't want to go is not a responsible thing to do. I should just be responsible. There he is. Gah! Gods and scholars, don't sneak up on me like that. Can I help you? My employer sent you, did he? Well, he'll be pleased to know that I was able to purchase all his requested Far Eastern items of cultural significance. That pot there was one of them, but I was leery of simply handing it over, I think. I think there's something alive inside. You tell me where this is, yes, yes? There, you heard that, didn't you? I knew it wasn't my imagination. You seem a well-traveled sort. What sort of creature might be what sort of creature might we be dealing with here? Really? Namazu is going to be in that pot? Yeah, okay. One which will feed the whole family. Oh, very funny. You're one of those who likes to make jests in a serious tone of voice. It was jest. Yes, yes. Well, now that I'm here, I might as well make the most of my misfortune. See the sights, try the food, that sort of thing. Convey my pot to the nearest inn, if you please. Seeing as our guest is so eager to stay, the least I can do is sponsor his visit and help fill out his paperwork. Meanwhile, I would appreciate it if you would explain the situation to my employer. You mean we can't deliver him to a dinner plate near you? That's too bad. Actually, yeah, let's go this way. Cairo has the right of it there. Did you catch up with the Gleaner? What did he have to say for himself? There was a stowaway. Are you telling me that Namazu are real? By the scholar, I thought the stories of such beings were just that. Stories. And now we have the chance to speak with one in the flesh. We really must house this visitor here in the Archeon, and record the conversations for posterity. Oh? Oh yes, here. You've been very helpful. Now, if you don't mind, I have preparations to make. Alright, just a couple more. Let's talk to the burly researcher. You look strong, sturdy, and, most importantly, idle. Which is a wonderful coincidence, as I'm in need of a spare pair of hands. Let me explain. I sent one of my younger colleagues off to Aesthetes Tholos to organize a shipment of ore, but after a second glance at the order sheet, I realized why it was taking him so blasted long. Seems the order was more than triple the size we usually handle. Something to do with all these large-scale preparations, I suppose. And I can hardly expect that pup to shift at all on his lonesome. Come and pitch in with the hauling, and I'll make it worth your while. What say you? Good. Many hands make light work. Well, lighter, at least. Let's go. Wah, 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 wah. What the hell? Where's this tiny frog going? Oh, okay. Apparently to evaporate. It has been doing that all night, slowly evaporating. Please tell me you're the help I was promised. Oh, thank the stars. My supervisor came past not a moment ago and scooped up half the ore himself. I swear he's part forest troll. But even so, I don't think I can manage the rest without doing myself an injury. Listen, if I take this crate, do you think you could carry the other load? Once you have it settled into a comfortable grip, I'll lead us to where we need to go. Commence hauling. You will have 3 minutes to complete the task. Should you fail, return to the starting location and begin anew. Speak with the lightly built assistant and follow his lead. Okay, got it. I see you're no stranger to hauling heavy things about. Come on, let's get moving before my arms fall off. So how do I toggle actual walk? Do y'all know the key command for that? By default, it's slash, alright? There we go, okay. Now I can match speed. That ought to do it. Come on back to the Archeon and I'll pay you what you're owed. Thanks, I can handle the rest from here. The worst of it is over. Oh, I can even walk in a chocobo. That's cool. Nice. Thank you, Trinity. I'm glad you came along when you did. I can't be hauling ore all day, and my colleague is not exactly built for hard labor. The Aesthetes Tholos is where we store the mineral deposits, you see, and it is our job to field and fill requests from our fellow researchers. But we're not equipped to process orders of that quantity, especially if the central circuit keeps sending up requisition papers at the same frenzied pace. We'll run out of stock before long, assuming our backs don't give out first. Anyway, you're not here to listen to me gripe. Take your wages and good work. There we go. There's one more. I think it's inside the building. Madame, if you could hold out your hand, I have something you really must eat. Please, I insist. Is that not the juiciest, sweetest, most invigorating thing you've ever tasted? I just finished baking a batch, and judging by your somewhat wan complexion, I thought you could use a little treat. Oh, don't worry. I know exactly what I'm feeding you, though I've settled here in this haven of archived cultural treasures. I was once a student of the nutritional sciences at the Faculty of Medicine. The knowledge from that course certainly comes in useful when it comes to keeping my weary colleagues healthy and hale, although I do struggle to find the time to collect all the ingredients I need. In fact, I wonder if you'd be willing to help in that regard? I was about to head out and gather some things east of here, but if you could scour the area to the northwest for a couple of rotting logs, I'd be ever so grateful. Excuse me? You use rotting logs to make food for people? I don't know about that. And you just ate some. Don't worry, I'm sure it's fine. Rip troll. trying to do 360s? Is that what you're doing, Cairo? Any luck with the logs? Yeah, here's your gross wood. Oh, these should be riddled with the little darlings. Oh, great. I ate bugs. I am. You just can't see them. Oh, that's too bad. Thank you, both from me and on behalf of my sure-to-be appreciative fellow archivists. After all, no dish has more nutritional value than one made with beetle larvae. Ugh. Slimy yet satisfying. Also, Ahty, if you haven't been, when you get quest items, look at their descriptions. They love throwing jokes in there. Or at least self-aware nods. Okay. I'll check that out. I'm gonna separate these a little bit, though. Aw, Cairo died from bug poisoning. Sad face. Oh, he's awake again. Can we climb the ladder? Nope. That's dumb. So I'm kind of wondering, when do I go back to the confluence and talk to Kite about the about Thavnair? Do I just finish all this stuff in Charlian and then do that? You'll know exactly when. Okay. Gotcha. Deeper into the maze. All right. Let's get on these there chickens. Well, that didn't work very well. I was gonna try to jump the wall over the crates, but that didn't work. Here they are. Extras. I never would have noticed this cave on my own. Thank the scholar that Aaronville knew of it, and that you were there to persuade him to share. I took a quick peek inside, but it's awfully dark in there. The medical circuit which Aaronville mentioned is the tier directly below us. Unlike the lowest level of Labyrinthos, with its rigid security, one can usually roam the middle layer quite freely. Let us see what we might find. This must be it, the entrance to the mineshaft. 'Tis faint, but I hear something moving within. Creatures homed there by the researchers, you think? Make sure to use your compass. There's a current inside the caves. Okay. Well, slavering beasts aside, we will need to watch our footing. we should tighten our straps and such before we continue. Okay, so how do I access my compass now? That's a thing. Since the patch, I haven't been able to add that to my hotbar anymore. In the collections menu, you can drag it from there, alright. May have the wrong name, okay. It's the second button from the left on the menu bar. Oh, okay, under duty, alright. Got it. I see. Elise seems eager to get underway. Assuming everyone's tightened their straps and checked their gear, then I say we head on in. Given the terrain ahead, though, it might be wise to leave some distance between us. We don't want to be stumbling over each other if it comes to a fight. Take it slow, and don't forget to check your surroundings from time to time. We can meet up again at the other end of the tunnel. No worries, Trinity. I know, like, probably a lot of this stuff is just muscle memory. So, like, remembering what everything is actually named, I mean, I don't think that's a reasonable assumption. Ah, yeah, there's an ether current. Aw, thank you so much, Ayami. But yeah, I mean, like, you know, if you need to get some rest, you should definitely get some rest if you can. You should not be here at the detriment to your own health and self-care. Oh heck, I'll get on the chicken, why not? There we go. I can be here while laying in bed. I still want to vibe and give support and help if I can. Aw, I appreciate it. You're a good bean. Oop, here's a destination. There we go. Ooh, 3 of them. Yeah, I thought that's where we were gonna end up. I saw that cave opening when we were on our way through here. Extras. That mineshaft was infested with mithril caps. Some sort of research project, I wonder? I suppose they are a most unusual creature. Why did they develop such long limbs when all they do is shuffle about in narrow tunnels? having me here in game is to remind you is handy. It is. Ahty, did you know Kryl almost took a tumble back there? She can't possibly still be dizzy from the lift. Yeah, I'm really wondering what's up with Kryl. I was being careful, I swear. The slope was steeper than I thought, and I lost my footing for a moment, that's all. I'm not injured. If you don't count my pride. Everyone seems to have made it through without incident, nothing of consequence at least. And, as promised, the tunnel has delivered us into the medial circuit. As I recall, this tier is where they keep a wide variety of samples for agricultural production. If Erenville's assumption holds true, that specimens are being collected in preparation for a great migration, then we should see evidence of such plans in the area's research projects. Let's follow the path to the nearest farming facility and see what we see. Oof. Okay. Living grass can stay where it is. Ooh, tomatoes. Here we are. I think my idea for things is really cool. Definitely want to discuss it with you one day to see if you have advice on it. Oh, they're not low poly grapes. Damn it. Rip low poly grapes. I have a few things I want to talk to you about that I've been really working on ideas for and such while I've been relaxing to feel better. Just because I'm sick doesn't mean I can't plan and figure things out. Definitely want to discuss it with you one day, see if you have advice on it or what your thoughts are. Oh, absolutely. I'd be definitely down for that. It's the grapes! The grapes! It's not the low poly grapes, though. Aha, now I know where we are. This is Mariol Argonomics. Labyrinthos is host to a wide variety of vegetation, which allows us to conduct studies on cultivation methods utilized in foreign lands. The grapes have been in since ARR. I don't know why everyone's freaking out about them now, lol. And it is this facility which coordinates and oversees those efforts. The fruits of their research go to feed their Labyrinthos colleagues, or so I hear. More notable successes might make it to the Agora. Food so exotic you'd be hard-pressed to guess their origin, let alone how they might taste. Indeed, mystery vegetables without a name, only a list of nutritional benefits scribbled on a card. I see no gleaners hereabouts, yet these workers seem to share that same sense of urgency. 'Tis possible they know something of the forum's plans and our underlying motivations. Worth looking into, wouldn't you say? I love Kryl. It's good to see her get so much screen time this expansion. Yeah. I really do like her a lot. I was kind of hoping that she wasn't going to be some minuscule side character when we were going through earlier parts of the game. See what you can coax from the workers. The rest of us will do the same or cast about our useful clues. Grapies! Alright. As much as I would love to keep going, I think we're at about that time I need to wind down. I still need to eat my dinner. And I need to sleep because I have to do dumb work tomorrow. Dumb. But at any rate... Yes, I'll teleport. Oh, it is what it is. Me too, dumbest. Yeah. Not that you're the dumbest. I'm saying work is the dumbest. Log out in the sanctuary for some bonus XP next time you're on. Okay, that's fair. So let's pop into here. Alrighty. So yeah, I think it's about time that I wrapped up. I pretty much decided before I even started that I wanted to raid Mako tonight, because it's been a little bit since I've raided Mako, and also, yeah, I mean, it's been a while since I've raided Mako. And the discussion today just kind of like firmed up that I really need to be in her stream more and make more of an effort to just kind of be present. You know, I mean, Mako has always been super kind to me, and really, when you get down to it, I adore Mako. I really do. Mako is such a good bean. So why don't we go and do that? So let me get it started. Alright, there we go. So, I didn't even check to see what Mako was playing right now. Whoops. Oh, still more Forza. Okay, cool. So yeah, Mako is amazing. And y'all, I mean, like, when we get over there, just definitely show all the love. If any of you are not following them yet, you definitely should. Mako does all kinds of cool games, like Super Robot Wars, lots of Gundam stuff. Like, does like a lot of different like little voices and stuff for all the different characters, which is really interesting. But also right now they're playing Forza. Oh yes, also Final Fantasy XIV raids, which is interesting. All kinds of different stuff. So, yeah, I mean, it's definitely worth your while. And they've also been kind of like an inspiration for me to like kind of get started in streaming and stuff. You know, I say that about lots of folks, and all of it is true. But like Mako is one of those people. So, at any rate, that's gonna be it for me. I need sustenance. Take care, Ahty. Good night. Goodbye. So long. See ya. All right. Take care, Kryuki and Plant Sky. You're welcome. And thank you for coming by. The next time I'm going to be streaming is Tuesday. So, see you then, 6 p.m. PST. Take care. Have a great night.